Hello and good evening to another episode of the Old Golden Chat. Just the two of us today. Liam, how are you, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, mate. Are you?
Not too bad. Just finished work, so bear with me. Bear with me as we go along, people. But we're here. It's 2026. The date is currently 12th of January, and Wolves are undefeated. We've actually got a positive episode to go again, haven't we, Liam, to be fair?
Another one? We're building on these positivities, aren't we?
We never thought the day'd come. I'm sure if I don't say the words "we are so back" for Nat, he might kill us. So we're so back. Super Rob's at it again. We might as well go back to the start of the week, can't we? Let's go back to Everton. Wolves pick up a really, really decent point at Everton. Should have been all three on the night. 2 red cards were given to Everton. It's a shame it was a bit too late on in the game to make too much of an impact, and then you're going against the team with the biggest shithouses in the leagues in Tarkowski and Pickford. But overall, especially after the first half, I think it's a good point on the road, isn't it, Liam?
Yeah, it's one of them, at the start of the game, you'd have took a point, but just watching that game, we just wanted that extra final creative chance in. But we probably had it with Hugo Bueno at the end, and Pickford, like you said, made an unbelievable save, didn't he?
So odd, because he's such a good keeper. It's one of those with Pickford. You just love to hate him, did you, at the best of times? And he is such a bloody good keeper. There is no way of putting it past him. It's under the same breath as, I'm not comparing them before people overgo me, but when Jose Sá goes and picks one out the top corner, you just say, like, how does he do it? How does he have the ability to just go and pick one out of the top corner? Pickford's so good at it. He's done it for both club and country for quite some time now, and I think he's very slowly becoming one of the better keepers in the country, and I'm sure people will disagree with me saying that, but I don't care. I think he's right up there. Yeah, first off, it was a cagey affair, to say the least. We went unchanged. John Arias, Mane and Israel Gomez played in the midfield 3. I don't blame Rob Edwards for starting the same team. I don't think he should change an unbeaten team. A team that's won a game for the first time this season, but I don't think he should change that team. And unfortunately, I think Everton's physical presence probably got the best out of us in the first half, didn't it, Lou?
Yeah, after the loss to Brentford, didn't they, at home a few days before, and they just looked like they was out for revenge from the first minute, didn't they? They were just clever in what they were doing, and James Gardner, he just made a beeline for Matthias Mane, didn't he? And every time he had the ball, he was, kicking him and fouling him and getting into him. Something that Mane is going to have to expect now, because he's been a name that everyone's talking about rather than someone who no one knows about. It was a big test for him, big test for the team, because our centre midfielders looked like we were getting stretched throughout the game, weren't we? And Everton knew what to do. Grealish was having a field day that first half. Jackson to Chua. He cannot be defending like that. If we're going to get out of this mess or have a good go at it, I don't think he made one tackle on Jack Grealish in that first half, did he? Grealish had the field to himself, and time again, it was just, he was getting the ball and he was just like ghosting through us down that left-hand side for Everton, weren't he?
Yeah, I think it's slightly becoming concerning now. It's one of those things where when teams are looking at how they can get past us, which obviously up until recent weeks has been with ease, anywhere all over the field, just do what you want and you will win a game. Whereas now we would have been a structure to our play, and we can kind of see the patterns of play that Rob's really trying to implement on the team. They're having to pick a weak spot, and our weak spot is undoubtedly our right wing back. To be perfectly honest, it just doesn't defend very well, does he? I mean, it doesn't go forward very well either, to be honest. So we're kind of at a loss.
Like when you see a defender play against like a winger, it's normally like the fullbacks asking questions to that winger of whether he's going to track him or what is he going to do next. But when wingers play against Chua, it's like they know exactly where they want Chua to be. If they want him to cut down the flank, he lets them do it. If they want to drop deep, they know that he's going to be pulled out of possession to do it. And he don't necessarily make a tackle, does he, or try and block a cross. And like you say, is a big concern for me, because it's just got to be stopped if we want, like the Newcastle at home on Sunday now, isn't it? It's got to be stopped, or something's got to be sorted so we don't have an unbalance when we're trying to defend.
Yeah, Yeah, I think he kind of stretches us a bit too much. I think we become too open because, yes, a Mosquera has to try and cover two spaces in one at the best of times when we're playing with Thatcher at right back. Obviously, we'll see. We'll see where the future lies. I think it was a bit too early for Pedro Lima to be able to come back. Yeah, he hasn't had any minutes with Porto in the first team this year. So I think it was all down to obviously Keanu Hoover being sent out on loan. We only have one option at right wing back properly for the moment. Obviously, Rodrigo Gomez is just coming back, so we'll see where the future lies with that one. But yeah, he didn't have a great half, and to be honest, the man in front of him, for all the credit that he got at West Ham, John Arias, kind of couldn't get a grasp of the game, could he? This time got
Him
brought
and
off at
Mane
half
just got
time.
outwon, didn't they?
Yeah. The thing is, when you're playing a team like Everton and you're playing a David Moyes' Everton, they're always going to be strong. They're always going to be physical. They're going to try and dominate teams. They're going to try and crash that midfield, not let you get out of play easy. Like every man is going to be straight on your feet at every single occasion. As soon as you get the ball and try and turn, they're going to be going into you. And unfortunately, neither Mane or Arias in the first half could find those little half spaces where they wanted to turn and bring the ball forward. But I think Arias was probably the right person to go off at half time because, well, as we saw further into the game, Matheus Mane is a little superstar. He's a little superstar in the making. But yeah, Arias went off for Andre.
Great.
Great sub. You've got to give Rob Edwards credit where credit's due. If he hasn't started right, he's changed it right, and I think he's done it in a couple of games now, to be honest, where the subs have made a real impact, and I think you can slowly start to see the implements of a Rob Edwards team now. I think it's really coming along nicely.
Yeah, the triangles are impressing me the most. We just seem like it just bounces off, and then that one goes longer, doesn't it, in behind? And teams are struggling, especially when you're playing Mane and someone else with him. That the teams are struggling whether do the centre halves go with him, do the fullbacks tuck in with them, are the centre mids meant to be dealing with that little ball that goes in? And it's really, really causing teams a problem, and it's helping us because we ain't overplaying at the back. Against Everton, I felt like we was a little bit sloppy where, for example, our centre halves passed the ball to Mosquera on the right-hand side. He was facing Jose Sá, so number one, he has to make sure his touch is on it because he's being pressed straight away. Then he has to turn with the ball for him to play forwards. It just needs to be sweetened up. Mosquera needs to be in that right body position, but the ball needs to be given to him in the right way. So that one touch is out. Even a first-time pass, so we can just play it where we need to. And I just think that those little bits, if we just tighten them up a little bit, I think we would be like, we'd give it a good go more so than we are doing. And fair play because the commitment was there. Even in the first half, every man, even to Chua, they did, give 100% effort, and that's all you can ask, isn't it?
It is. And I think it's something that we've said for so long on this podcast now is we don't mind losing in the right manner. And even though we didn't lose this game at all, we lost the first half. And if you lose in a fighting manner, you can at least have some respect with it. But let's move on to the second half. Hwang came off for Strand Larsen, was it?
Yes, I think he did.
Yeah, Hwang came off for Strand Larsen. I think he took a little bit of a kicking and needed to go off. Strand Larsen kind of played not up front with Tolu this time and kind of dropped into one of those number 10s, maybe where Arias and Mane kind of bring the ball forward. And it worked, in all fairness. Again, it was something else that Rob Edwards has obviously been asking Strand Larsen to do with his game, in terms of if he hasn't been fed and he can't score goals at the minute, there's a lack of confidence. It's if you can't score, go and create for somebody else. And the ball, honestly, superb. The ball by Strand Larsen was just piercing. It was...
Ruben never.
Glad you giving him some good praise there. And the ball, to be fair, in all fairness to the weight of it was perfect. And Mane, we're going to run out of superlatives for him, aren't we? The first touch to be able to get the ball, that isn't an easy ball coming at him either. Take that one touch where he's brought it out of his feet onto his stronger foot. He's got Pickford, who we've already said is one of the better keepers in the league, sprinting out in full sprint. And he's just curled it around the keeper. It's just, who is this geezer? 18 years old. He plays. Look, he's got 300 Premier League appearances. He is so cool. Ice cold Mane, never mind this stupid Morgan Rogers crap, mate. Mateus Mane, mate, unbelievable footballer. He's going to go down generational. I'm not going to keep trying to hold it anymore. He's going to be generational.
He just oozes quality, doesn't he? He's like a £40 million signing to come straight into that team, and it's made such a difference.
Yeah.
And his biggest credit for me was that first half, they were snapping him left, right and centre. For him not to go hiding and to be brave, to get on the ball between two centre-halves, that first touch and finish, hats off to him. I think he was absolutely superb.
He was. He's not afraid of anyone. All the teams that he's played so far in Arsenal, United, like United at Old Trafford as well, which is like a big ground to go to.
Anfield.
Liverpool away. He's going to teams and really taking it. I can't wait for him to play at the Etihad. I genuinely can't. I'm not saying that I think we're going to go and get points there, but I can't wait to see his individual performance at the Etihad because he's just going to go. Even if Rodri's back, he's just going to pick up that ball and glide past him, and he's going to go and he's going to bring balls forward, and it's just so pleasant to see.
Yeah. Absolute fair play.
Yeah, oh god, yeah. I think we'll very quickly touch upon the two incidents, red card incidents, and then we'll move on because do you know what? Our Everton fans, man, they are so delusional. There was a red card incident with Tolu and Michael Keane. Michael Keane got a red card because as he was going up for a header with Tolu, he decided to pull on his dreadlocks so hard that his neck would probably snap off the floor. Fair enough. Do you know what? The problem that we've got with this is it's the actual terminology from the officiating. It's not dangerous play. It's not. But it's cheating. It's a red card. Whether you like it or not, it's a red card. There is no way about it. Just, look, I'm bald. If I had hair and someone if someone's yanking on my chin, I'll be on the floor. Do you know what I mean? Look, it's cheating. To some of these stupid journalists who've put it out online where he showed the very end of the video where his one hand's on his back and his one hand's so unclosed down the bottom of the back of his neck. Jog on, man. Jog on. It's a red card. And I'll caveat this with saying, I don't know whether you've seen it, Liam, the Hwang Hee-chan challenge. That was a red card as well.
Yeah. That was a red
card.
I thought he was a gunner when that happened.
He's done it a few times now and got away with it. So that would have been one apiece. And then just to see whingy Jackie G just going I tell you what, mate, it's so funny.
That was.
I just wish we'd have won that game just to give him some, man, because he's such an arsehole. And there is no other way to put it. He's one of the biggest arseholes in football, and it's about time that he got his comeuppance. And you know what? Fair play to the ref, because I think a lot of refs, they aren't brave enough to give these big ego players the boot. And we've seen it before when we played Southampton away, where Mario Lemina was surrounding the referee and trying to give him a bit of stick. He got a red card. So it's about time it finally flew Wolves' favour.
To be honest, sarcastic clapping's a yellow card, simple as. He was already on a yellow. He knew what he was doing. He was on it for like 3 minutes, just having a go at the ref. And he's experienced enough to know to move away. So fair play for the ref just to send him off.
Do you know what makes it even sweeter? It's the fact that the free kick went Everton's way. He got a red card for sarcastically clapping the ref for winning a free kick. He's such an arse. But love it.
Come out about that. Mosquera's yellow card, I thought, was a soft one. That puts him on a tightrope then, wherever he's playing against Jack Grealish, that can go down easily. So, it swings both ways, doesn't it?
Of course it does. And Jose Sars as well, I think was a bit soft. But it is what it is. I think it was it only his second Premier League game or something, the referee? So,
yeah.
I don't necessarily want to
perform with
myself. If you're going to be shit, you might as well be consistently shit, and I'll take it. So, yeah, I think a fair point to Everton, probably. That I think they had the better of the first half chances. Would have been lovely to be able to.
I think Tolu had a really good game as well, didn't he? The way he holds that ball up. When the ball's in the air and he just chests it and just holds it up, he just allows us to move that 10 yards further forward, doesn't he? And imagine if you had that big target man up there. So as a winger, you know that it's going to be stuck up there. You're just going to make that run straight away.
Yeah.
And I think he brings the best out of Mane, doesn't he? He knows when to give it Mane at the right time.
Yeah. And I think him and Mane have really built a connection, and it looks like it's going to go places, to be honest. So long may it continue. I feel like I'm saying that on the podcast quite a bit now. Long may it continue. Hopefully we get a win come Sunday against Newcastle. We'll see. But if those two start, I have no doubt that some magic will be performed on the pitch. I think we move on now to this week's game against Shrewsbury in the Cup.
Yeah.
So, for anyone who hadn't seen the score, we've scored 6 goals against Shrewsbury Town. Yep, you heard that right. 6 goals. We've only scored 15 in the league all season, and we've scored 6 goals. And look, it was only Shrewsbury Town, and I might upset some Shrewsbury fans if they do ever listen to the podcast. But you can only beat what's in front of you at the end of the day. And we saw it with a couple of other teams within the competition in the third round. Macclesfield beating Crystal Palace, who had a semi-strong team. They had Uche playing, who obviously isn't a starter, but they had Jeremy Pino playing, Mark Gay. They had some good players in there as well, Crystal Palace. You can only beat what's in front of you. And I think apart from maybe a 5 or 10 minute spell with the penalty and just thereafter, was really put Shrewsbury to the sword. And it was nice to see. It was really nice to see.
We really stretched them straight away, didn't we? Our centre halves was quite deep, which was good because Santi and Krejci on the ball, they're so calm. It allowed our strikers to basically run in behind, and Krejci's ball to Chan for the first goal was a brilliant ball. And like you say, you can only play the team in front of you. It could have been a tricky tie when we originally got Shrewsbury at home. I was thinking, that's not good when we play. But the way we started, we didn't let out like them to get in the game at all. We went at the full throttle, didn't we? And fair play, we went 1-up straight away, really, didn't we?
Yeah. I think you've got to give credit to Rob Edwards again before we go into the goals, because I think a lot of people, including myself, probably wanted to see some younger talents get games. I would love to see Rodrigo Gomez get a bit more minutes in the tank, Pedro Lima, maybe even an Enzo Gonzalez or an Ethan Sutherland or something like that. I'd have loved to have seen that happen, but I think you've got to give credit where credit's due, and Rob's realised that Newcastle's fixtures are rotten coming up. They've got like 4 or 5 big games, including Champions League and Carabao Cup. Wolves are probably going to be low down on the priority. So if you're going to give the players confidence, let them go and get some confidence against the League Two team. It can't do them no harm, can it, really? Yeah, I thought it was superb. And I think for Strand Larson, who's obviously had a lot of critics over recent times to get out a trick, I'm buzzing for him. I'm really happy. I still think he'll move in this window if somebody gives enough money. But yeah, fair play to him, because at the end of the day, he could have hidden his shell. And he celebrated all the goals as well, in all fairness to him. He could have hidden his shell. He could have requested a January transfer move by now. And that hasn't been the case so far, as to what we know.
Yeah, and I was shocked to see some of that, like you say, the team lineup when it came out. We all predicted our lineups, didn't we? And I don't think many of us had thought that as first teamers was in there. But he just set the tone for the game. Shrewsbury couldn't really get into it at all, could they? Whereas cup ties sometimes could be on a knife balance. Other than that penalty that we gave away, and it was 2-1. We always looked like scoring, which again, I know it was only a League Two team, but those triangles, those little build, the links that we were doing, it's only going to help us keep that shape and formation to help us, like you say, against Newcastle. That's going to be a bigger game. And you get into the next round, and like you say, we've got Grimsby away. That's probably looking at it right now. I think if you're playing Grimsby at home, I'm thinking, yeah, that's an easy result. But playing them away can be a bit tricky with their pitch. But like again, go with the same sort of team. See how far you can get. You know, it's just going to build up the confidence. And like you say, Newcastle at home, after that performance against Shrewsbury, we should be on the high and a bounce, and the fans will get behind them again. So who knows?
Absolutely. I think the pick of the bunch for me for the goals was probably the second goal. John Harris's build-up playing that goal, so good. I mean, to be honest, there was a few goals where the actual passage of play and the passing rhythms was so good. But that second goal, it was just the little intricate balls between, was it Huang Larson? He drags two, he brings one defender to him, a midfielder coming to him, just plays a cute little intricate ball through the middle. John Harris was all the time in the ball, and even the finish, it's so accurate. Little touch off the post, straight in. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
What I liked as well, that even when we was winning 3-1, 4-1, we kept going. We didn't stop. We looked like we was enjoying it, and that's what they've got to try and do. Enjoy playing for Wolves, even in this tough time at the moment. And when we brought subs on, like, the energy was just unbelievable. When Rodrigo Gomez comes on the pitch, I think every Wolves fan just has a bit of a smile to themselves, because he plays like he's just come out of the academy with that energy and the abundance that he has and what he brings to that team. And in front of goal, I think he's one of our best finishers. Anytime there's a chance, I'd want it to fall to him, because he just knows how to bury it, doesn't he?
He's just, do you know what? if we manage to keep manage to keep Rodrigo Gomez for next season, even Pedro Lima to some degree, but the enthusiasm that these players have every time they play on the pitch, I know Pedro Lima is a little bit different because we haven't seen as many minutes, but from what I can see, when he goes on the pitch, he looks like he loves it every single time. He's got so much energy. Rodrigo Gomez, the little star boy, I love him. I absolutely love him. Like, he's like a little Pedro Neto region, but you can see the passion that he has for this club. Even in his, I know he's on his social media, but even in his social media posts of the match, he's talking about how much he's just enjoyed being able to come back and play in front of fans. And do you know what? It says something when you're 5-1 up in a game already against Shrewsbury, who are a League Two team. He scores his goal and he runs over and he's giving it some to their fans. He's absolutely loving it. And his passion and enthusiasm for the club is just next level. I love it. I love it. I love Rodrigo. He's unbelievable. You love that, didn't you? A little bit of Rodrigo.
What do you think about the goal we conceded?
Wasn't a penalty for me. It was outside the box.
Yeah, outside the box, we went at the contact.
Yeah, but there's no VAR. And to be honest, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fact that the referee just had a look at it. John Arias gave him no choice because he's made a stupid foul on the edge of the box and then put it down straight away. And as soon as he did that, the rest just could have go, oh, no foul, is he? To the spot, off we go. And it could have set us back, but like I say, we just went again and we found another gear and we started playing more football. And I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he came into a competition. I didn't go to the game on Saturday. I was scheduled to be in work, but I got snowed in, so I didn't even manage to get to work. But it would have been nice because I can imagine so many dads would have took the lads to that sort of game.
Yeah.
Some young kids would have gone. And you know what? If there wasn't a Wolves fan before and thought that Wolves were crap before, at least they might have actually seen a game where we scored 6 goals. So it might convert them from going to the bigger teams. You never know. I enjoyed it. It was nice to see, the likes of Tolawara Kadare on the score sheet as well. That goal, by the way, we were talking about passages of play. Matthias Mane, again, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to have to just keep on. I'm just going to have a whole Matthias Mane fan page at this point. But that ball, with his curling on the outside of the right foot, was so good. David Moller-Wolf, really intelligent ball into the box. Tolu, first time. Such an easy finish against such a poor team. But fair play. Fair play.
Glad he got in the score sheet.
Yeah. I think before we wrap up on that game, we'll very quickly give a shout out to the Shrewsbury fans because they came in full voice, in all fairness to them. They sold out the Save Bank, so the steeple, bottom tier. So fair play to them, and good luck for the rest of the season. You're too big a team to be going down to the non-league of football, but keep supporting your club because eventually one day you'll be back, and hopefully we get to do another away day because from our previous away day there, Liam, it was a good experience. Really, I like Shrewsbury. I'd like to go back in some capacity, but hopefully it's just another league game or somewhere, because a League Cup game, should I say. But let's move on to a little bit of transfer news, or rumours, should we say. Emmanuel Agbadou has been approached by Besiktas. He has apparently agreed personal terms, and Besiktas have sent a formal offer to Wolves, but Wolves have swiftly rejected the offer. The offer was a £2 million loan fee with an option to buy Everton £10 million, which falls short of what Wolves paid for him a year ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, no chance.
Look, unless Besiktas took that offer, that's a non-mover. That's an absolute non-mover.
No chance. If he's getting rid of a player now, it needs to be for them to buy that player. We get relegated, teams are just going to be throwing their dummies at the pram and offering stupid money, and the players are going to want to go, aren't they?
Yeah. I can understand why he'd want to go. Bottom of the Premier League, Besiktas, Turkish clubs are notorious for paying stupid amounts of money. They will offer him massive money, and he will be the rock of a Besiktas defence. Because it's a bit like the Spanish division. There's 3 or 4 good teams in Turkey, and the rest of them they're all just fodder to the rest of the league, aren't they? So he would do very well there. I agree. But I'm sorry, Besiktas. You've got a lot of money that you can give him weekly wages. Unless you start chucking some transfer fee, I doubt that one's going to happen. And
would you sell him?
I would say, if I'm being perfectly honest, his lack of passing range, which was something that he was so good at last season, it's fell off a cliff. I think it's a shame because he's picked up form quite recently, just before AFCON, he kind of come back into it a little bit, didn't he? And it's a hard one because I think, yeah, we probably shouldn't sell him. But at the same time, I think he is replaceable. And I think Santi Bueno does still steady the ship a little bit. I think he's done nothing wrong since Agbadu went to the AFCON. So, look, I think we're probably down anyway. I think the Forest result probably killed us, beating West Ham. But I would sell him. And like I say, I think he's replaceable. I think Santi Bueno stays until the end of the season. You've got Totti Gomez coming back. Matt Doherty played superb there when we played West Ham in the middle centre. So, yeah, I think I would sell him, if I'm being honest. What about you?
Yeah, the money's right. I think you've just got to take that chance, haven't you, and get rid.
Yeah, I agree. A bit of news today come from Pedro Almeida, who says that Palmeiras over in Brazil are in advanced negotiations with John Arias over a permanent deal, likely to be about $18 million, which would equate to roughly about £15 million. Would equate to about a £3 million loss. Am I right in saying, Liam? I think. What do you think of that one, mate?
Before Christmas, I'd have slapped your hands off. I don't think we're going to be staying up, so then you're just going to sell him real cheap in the summer, aren't you? I think he's kind of found his position playing more in centre midfield. I think it suits his game, where he can pick that ball up on the half turn, and he's got centre midfielders behind him because they're not as good as defenders at making that 1v1 tackle. Seems to suit him a little bit. I know Everton didn't, but that was a bigger pitch, weren't it? And Everton knew what to do. I think there is a position for him at the moment that with what Rob Everton is trying to do with that team. But the question is, does he want to stay? Because if he doesn't, then yeah, I'd probably would get rid of him because, like I say, in the summer he's going to be a lot cheaper. And to say he was Cunha's replacement, he hasn't been nowhere near good enough to be that replacement, has he? So what would you do?
It's hard because I think recency bias comes into play, which is what you've already said. I think the problem for me is he's technically gifted and he does do the dirty work defensively, which is something that we kind of will need going further into the season. And if we are to keep putting up a fight and hopefully beat Derby's record, maybe finish up with Burnley, maybe West Ham, you kind of do need a player like him who is going to break up play. And I think the problem that we've had is, and I've mentioned on other podcasts, is Andre and Gomez are a bit too similar sometimes. Not X Factor, but that difference in midfield, yeah. But then again, I also think that Delcars could probably fulfil that role in the middle three. But we'll see. We'll see when he's back. Wolves could use that money to be able to go elsewhere and go shopping. Same with Agbadu. We know the quotas with homegrown, and we've mentioned it before on a podcast. Like, we either need to sign homegrown players or we need to sell foreign assets to be able to buy other foreign assets. I think both of them are replaceable for the right fee. Same with Strand Larson, replaceable for the right fee. And I think those three probably are the ones that could be the movers. Again, I don't think Arias is probably the right person to start against Newcastle because Joe Linton, Guimaraes, Tonali, if they start in the middle of the park, they're all physical, combative players, and that would be the game where Arias probably drops to the bench. So we'll see. We'll see where he goes. We'll see. With Super John Arias, but he has played quite well.
Are you shocked about the news about players coming in? Like, there's been no rumours at all for anybody.
Yeah, I am. To be honest, it looks a pretty slow window. I mean, we're on the 12th, and apart from Semenyo moving to City, there's kind of been nothing going on, has there?
West Ham have made a few deals, haven't they?
Yeah, but even those deals, to me, look, the one chap's just a young talent coming over from Portugal. Tati Castellanos. I think is it Napoli or Lazio? It's Lazio.
Is it Lazio, really?
Lazio fans couldn't wait to get rid of him, so I'm not really too intimidated by him. It's a slow window, and I think this is where the John Arias situation comes into play because we obviously need one out before we can get one in. Especially with Keanu moving out on loan, he is a homegrown player, so that really does stretch it a little bit now. Getting John Arias out could allow us to sign someone. I'm going to go back to last week's podcast when I say if we can get John Arias out and get Imran Loser in, go for it. Go and do it, because that would be my perfect replacement, to be honest.
Other than Larson, do you reckon there's anyone that you would be happy to go?
Happy?
As in, like, someone who you think if we was trying to stay up, that's the player that you'd want to, or position you'd want to improve. For me, I'd say probably Jackson Tachua.
Yeah,
I
I
think we
think it
need a
is.
better right back.
I think the right wing back. It feels so weird to say because we've sat on 2 points for so long in the Premier League, but I don't think the squad is as bad as what it is technically in actual terms of where we've been within the league this year. Yeah, I think Jackson Thatcher will be the one. I will get him out. I'll get any of the players that we probably suggested last week or any other ones. I don't mind. I think
I'm
I've
getting
seen
to the point
Sheffield.
where, oh, sorry, go on.
I think I saw Sheffield United fans absolutely berating
Yeah,
Keanu. I think you told me that earlier, didn't you?
yeah.
They were berating Keanu's performance in the FA Cup. So, yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen what happens with him next year, to be honest.
Yeah. I think with the Tachua, I think I'd just prefer Rodrigo and Lima to battle that position out if Rodrigo Gomez is fit. Because he just frustrates the life out of me, man. I can't watch another game where he is at right back. So I'm out. But then again, who's going to pick him out to say, oh, I want to sign him?
I mean, according to reports before January, apparently Juventus and Inter Milan, I don't know where that's come from. Rose still water. I think they're
Honestly,
skating for their under
that's
18s, aren't they? I don't. Do you know what? It's been a positive podcast. It's been a positive couple of weeks. I don't even want to slag him off, but I just want to see more. I want to see a player who, again, I'll just bring it back to the Everton game. Within the 9 minutes of added time that we got, you got a player who has recorded the fastest Premier League acceleration stat, and he chose to pass backwards. We've got 9 minutes of added time. Everton have got 9 players. And he picks up the ball, and he could bomb it down that right-hand side.
Yeah.
You've got him, you've got Lima, both on the right, who can put good balls in when needs be. And he passes it sideways or passes it backwards, and it's like, he frustrates the life out of me. If someone told him that he was playing as a right midfielder, I think he'd play a completely different game to what he plays. So, yeah, I think Jackson Tachua would be the one. I think people might murder me for saying this. I could do with losing Andre, if I'm being honest. I think he's a fantastic player, definitely. But if we were to sell him for a decent amount of money and a profit, and it would allow us to get another attacking player in, I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. But we'll see. We'll see where the window takes us. There's still 18 days left. We'll see where it goes. Obviously, bids have to come in first for us to be able to assign foreign players. Liam? Grimsby away in the Cup. We'll finally touch upon that before we get to bed. How do you feel about the drawback?
Look, when it comes to the FA Cup, I love to see a Premier League team play away at a low-level team. So I was buzzing with that draw. So at this early stage, I hate when we get drawn against other Premier League teams. It just kills it for me. So even though I'm definitely not going to get a ticket for that one with the points, it'll be just nice to see that bit of atmosphere of being at an actual, proper football, old-fashioned style ground. What about you?
Do you know what? It's kind of like, it's all reminiscent to me because I remember sitting in a bar and grill not too long ago watching Grimsby versus Manchester United, watching Cunha miss a penalty, and then now he's getting absolute pelts from United fans. I've seen someone say, put a picture of Mbeumo, Isco and Cunha saying literally the worst 3 signings in a big six transfer window, and I thought, and Mbeumo's a bit harsh, but the other 2 you can probably agree on, to be honest. I mean, how he changes. He's getting absolutely berated by United fans. They lost to Grimsby in the Cup. Super Wolves are going to take it to Grimsby. They're going to go into the 5th round of the FA Cup. United are getting knocked out of another cup run yesterday. Yeah, let's all take the mick out of Matthias Cunha. Don't forget to leave him a nice little message on his Instagram because he's very active on his Instagram from his time at Wolves, and he doesn't have anyone to run it.
Just remember, follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams, and you may just finish above the Wolves.
4th round.
4th round, and what was it? 3rd round as well against Grimsby. Genuinely, same again, Rob. Same again. Go and take it to Grimsby. Go and beat them. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't want to get clipped up in a month's time. But if you could beat Grimsby, you're into the 5th round of the Cup. And then look, the ties were really favourable to us. A lot of Championship clubs got Championship clubs. A lot of Premier League clubs got Premier League clubs. There's only Man City who really got favours, barring us. So if you get through this and you get a very nice tie next round, even if that's a championship team, because there's going to be a lot of them in there. You then on to the quarters, and then on to the semis, and then you then beating Manchester City in the final, and you're walking away as a relegated team with an FA Cup. Do you know what? Sadik Man City, I didn't even get to the final. We're going to beat Villa in the final. It's sort of like, let's be having you. Oh, God. It's 11:30, Lou. I think it's time for bed, because otherwise I'm going to say some stupid stuff on the pod here what people are going to laugh at. But Wolves are going to win the FA Cup, and best believe it, boy. So we will be back like this week with a Newcastle preview. We're both going to predict a win, because we're feeling really positive now, aren't we, Dale?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Thank you again all for watching. Thank you all again for listening. Do us a favour, if you have got a YouTube account, please subscribe to the channel. We want to really grow this channel. Please like, subscribe, and share on all platforms. Make sure you catch us on all of our social media, especially in the transfer window. We're, when Wolves actually start looking at players, we'll be letting you know who they are looking for at any given time through the day. Liam, thanks again for coming on, mate.
Cheers for having me on.
Speak to you again at some point in the week then, when we get our Newcastle prediction and score and team line up out. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone.